2 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, a minute and a half.
I got 7:02 on mine.
This doesn't have a time on
Anybody want an Andy's candy?
I got 6:58.
I have 6:58.
I don't know, these are sitting, these appeared.
it. They were from.
Cliff? Oh,
He
Cliff.
gave 'em
Hey,
to you
Cliff,
2 weeks
thanks.
ago.
Was that for Christmas or something? There you go.
Had to find it. Hi, Candy.
Pass them down.
Oh, no, I'm on a diet. No, I'm not.
You know, chocolate diet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Larry's here, it's official. Larry's here,
Oh, okay.
7 o'clock.
Okay.
These numbers guy.
6:59.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Look at women, I'm still chewing.
Kind of enjoyable,
Okay, 7 o'clock.
Usually
It's okay.
huh? Okay. I'd like to call the village board meeting to order. Roll call.
Mayor Byrne,
Here.
trustees Hebda,
Here.
Cook,
Here.
Markwart,
Here?
Schultz,
Present.
Schwartz,
Here.
Williams.
Motion carries. Everybody please stand for the pledge. Is everybody okay?
I'm here, fine.
All right. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
My knees are creaking, I'm creaking.
It's like bumper cars here. Okay. All right.
But it can't.
Any citizens that wish to address the board tonight? On any matter other than what's on committee of the whole, because it's on committee of the whole, you'll get to address us then. Okay. All righty. Swearing in. John Calmer as village clerk. Gotta raise your,
That's what it says.
Yeah, that's,
yeah.
is that village manager?
What's that?
You don't have to swear in the
Which
manager,
one are you
gotta
swearing,
in
both
the
of them or
clerk.
just?
Well, I can only swear one in at a
Oh,
time.
that's true.
Okay. Got your right hand up. Okay, I, John M. Calmer,
I, John M. Kalmar,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of village clerk,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of village clerk
according to the best of my abilities.
according to the best of my abilities.
Okay, you're now official.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, thanks.
Yeah.
Okay, Lynn. Oath of office. I, Lynn Deanda,
I, Lynn Deanda,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
Chicago White Sox,
the Chicago White Sox,
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of Deputy Village Clerk
and I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of Deputy Village Clerk
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. All righty. Okay, I gotta sign these. Next is Public Works Director, village engineer, and most popular guy in town.
Yeah.
Snow and ice control budget adjustments as we speak.
Thank you for the opportunity to update the board in terms of our snow and ice budget and planning. Generally, I just want to share, as we've all lived through, it's been a real difficult season. I know in talking to my staff or looking at our notes, They have been out either salting or snow plowing every Saturday except for one since December 1. So it's been quite a trying year. They've also been out Christmas Day, New Year's Eve, and et cetera, et cetera. So I just want to, you know,
How many events have we actually had? I mean, days where we're out plowing or salting, or, of course, we're doing cleanup every week, every day.
It's nearly every other day. I didn't do the exact math, but it's every bit of 34 times that we've been out doing those operations. So,
What did we start the year with as far as how many tons?
Our bins, we typically have all of them full at the beginning of the year, which is 400 tons per bin, 1,200 tons total. You may recall that 2 years prior, we had a surplus. We were trying to figure out where we could store our salt. We
Yeah.
ordered actually less salt.
Yeah.
Dropped from 2,000 to 1,600 because we were choking on salt. Well, how times have changed. So now, in terms of how much salt we have to date, we have 835 tons currently in our bins. A lap around town in a salt operation used to take us about a little over 25 tons. Through looking at efficiencies in salt operations, comparing notes, we've been able to drop it down to 17 or 18 tons per trip. If we have a plowing operation, you know, that means we probably have salted, plowed, and salted. So, you know, we'll run through every bit of 50 tons of salt in a loop. And, you know, sometimes, and we've seen it a lot, these have been snowstorms that sit over our area, and they've been 12, 14, 16-hour durations. So very slow moving, not big dumps all at once. So we have to manage it. So, you know, a lot of overtime and maybe
Dave, does the 835 include the 98 that was delivered by truck from downtown Keokuk, Iowa or something?
It does include just shy of 200 tons that we received. We went down, we hired a trucking outfit to travel to Iowa. It's Comanche, Iowa. It's where the Archer Daniels main port is. We're understanding that from North American Salt, they had plenty of salt. It was just on the other side of the Mississippi.
Yeah.
We had to find a way to go get it because the barges weren't bringing it to us.
Yeah, 'cause
So
the Illinois River's frozen?
there were problems with the locks. There were problems with the rivers itself, is my understanding. So we, with the boards, very pleased that the village manager was able to pull the board. You guys reacted very swiftly. The prices were hopping. You know, originally we pay $61 to $65 per ton. We were able to talk to people in this area about $75 per ton, but we quickly found out that they're in the same situation. They could sign us up for a contract for $75, they just couldn't deliver it. So then we reacted very swiftly, hired some trucks. They ended up going, picking it up, 145 miles each way, delivered it to us. That extra 200 tons certainly allowed me to sleep a little bit better at night. Tomorrow we have another 100 tons being delivered by them. And so, you know, we also, in addition to that, because we had too much salt a couple of years ago, one of our snowplow contractors, James Martin and Associates, rather than us paying to have it stored or buying tarps a few years ago, we worked with them to have shipments brought to them, and they've been storing it. And we said, you know what, we could use that back. And so they are going to give us another 100 tons back. I suspect we're going to see how the season turns out. I am hearing numbers in $175 a ton up if you don't have a contract. So very pleased that we were able to get it for $65 a ton plus $38 for the trucking cost.
Now, what did
and
we
get it
pay
delivered.
initially this year? Was it 60-some dollars?
It was $61
Right.
a ton delivered.
Yeah, except, did that include the trucking fee?
That did.
Yeah, and that's what? Who delivers it here?
It's through North American Salt, so that's our state bid price.
All right, so they got Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
and that's a good point, Mayor. One of the things that we're talking about is LDOT is looking to have a consortium and have their own bid process. It's more local, so we are talking with them about potentially having a contract with them for purchasing of salt. I'd like to hedge our bets a little bit and have a contract with them and also have a contract with North American
Sure,
Salt.
sure.
One runs out, the other may have it. We have contracts with both. If one bid price comes in at 61 and the other is 70, we can hedge our bets. Larry taught me well.
All right, so are we gonna wind up, just reading through your memo, are we gonna wind up basically, burning through the 1,675 tons we bought initially? Is that what we bought? I saw a number in the
Sure,
1,600.
sure.
If we took delivery on that already?
Let me answer it in
Because it sounds like we could only hold 1,200 tons, right?
the game plan is we want to see how the rest of the winter goes. Right now, we have the 835 tons right now. We have 100 being delivered tomorrow. We have another 100 in the bank with James Martin. So we roughly have 1,000 tons available. Doing the math in terms of the 50 tons for a snowplow effort, just shy of that. We can go around the village quite a few more times before, basically 20 snow events before we're out of salt. We have moved towards beet juice. We've talked about doing that a few years ago, and we're starting to use more and more liquids instead. One of the problems is as rock salt was becoming unavailable and more expensive, I started moving towards more of a liquid diet. We started going towards a liquid diet. Well, the barges aren't be able to deliver that into the Milwaukee port. So we're balancing our operation. I guess what I want to tell you is that we're monitoring the amount of salt that we have. We're going to use it as we see appropriate. Our priority per our snow plan is the larger streets first, the mainline streets first, then the lesser priority is local streets, and then cul-de-sacs. And it needs to be that way because of safety and speeds, et cetera.
Sure,
you do need to do that. So we'll manage it as well as we can. We know that we need to have salt for the end of the year, and that's why I recommend to the board the resolution in your packet a little bit later after my report. All said and done, we have contracts with subcontractors, James Martin, Brickman, Aero Shop, et cetera. We're anticipating, and we're crystal balling it, we're anticipating how much more plowings and saltings operations will they have to do. So it's a little over $125,000 for that. We don't expect any more holiday overtime. Memorial Weekend's the next, paid holidays, so we won't be hitting that. Over time, we forecasted that. We have liquids to also purchase, and then the salt. So really, it's $330,000 for us to forecast through the rest of this season. And I'm not padding that, and I'm not underestimating. I'm doing my best guess on that. So, real quick on the salt, when we start next season, next winter, we want to make sure we have our bins full again. So in this budget is to make sure that we have salt at the end of the year, so we start next winter season off with full bins. That's been our normal practice that we do. So those numbers are built in on that.
So
obviously, I'm going to wait.
What we can hold is 1,200 tons.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so when we got that delivered, are we owed another 475? We already burned through that? Because I thought
We've used our whole allocation of salt already prior to us talking to the people in Iowa. So we've used our 120% that we're allowed. We can order 80 to 120%. Okay. We've burned through all of that.
The whole 1,600 tons?
Yes, yes.
All right.
Well, just so you know, I saw my shadow Sunday, so.
It worked out nice.
Yeah. I put these numbers together without the benefit of Pexitani Pete also.
Yeah.
So. Phil, thank you.
I'd like to throw in, I'd like to throw in too is that if I'm correct, I don't know the days, but if I'll probably be pretty close to this. In December, I bet you the man hours that went to salt, or went to plow and salt, were probably, if you're looking at 30 days, 20 some odd days was the men were working. You go into January, and I bet you again, the amount of work that the Public Works, the men have been doing plowing and salting, are probably somewhere in the area again of 20 some odd days out of a 31-day month. So my hat's off, because I know what you're going through, and this has not been a great winter of fun.
Definitely a memorable one. In terms of the salt purchase, we will not buy the salt for next year at the higher rate. It's just hedging in case we need the additional salt. We have it allocated in the resolution. I would like to just meter that. If we at the end, we do want to fill our bins up, but I don't think we should pay the higher price unless we need to. So that's where you see in the spreadsheet, some of it is for more immediate need. The remainder is at the end of the season when the prices become more reasonable.
Yeah, okay. All right. What we got next? The omnibus vote agenda? Looks like it. Okay, is there a motion to approve items A
I think it's
through H? Any
So
comment?
made.
Okay.
second.
Motion is second. Roll call.
Wait.
What?
You said comments or questions?
Oh, you there? Well, I took my glasses off. Okay. Trustee Schwartz.
Can I pull E, please?
Yeah, okay. All right, so do we have items A through D, F through H? Is there a motion to approve?
Yes, the first agrees to that change.
Second also.
Okay. Any comments or questions? If none, roll call.
Trustees Markwart,
Aye.
Schultz,
Aye.
Schwartz,
Aye.
Williams,
Aye.
Hebda,
Aye.
Cook.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, item E, approval and passage of resolution 2014-009, a resolution authorizing the payment of $40,000 to Kemper Sports Management for the 2013 management fee for the Village of Vernon Hills Municipal Golf Course. Is there a motion to approve?
So made.
A motion is second. Comments or questions?
You were one of them.
Roll call.
Trustees Schultz,
Aye.
Schwartz,
Abstain.
Williams,
Aye.
Hebda,
Aye.
Cook,
Aye.
Markwart.
Aye.
For the record, I'd vote aye. Motion carries. Okay. Next is unfinished additional business. Approval of Kemper voucher list of bills dated February 4th, 2014 in the amount of $43,925.10. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Comments or questions? If none, roll call.
Trustees Schwartz,
Abstain.
Williams,
Aye.
Hebda,
Aye.
Cook,
Aye.
Markwart,
Aye.
Schultz.
Aye.
For the record, I'd vote aye. Okay, B, approval of the January 21st, 2014 Village Board meeting minutes. Is there a motion to approve?
So made.
Second.
Motion is second. Comments or questions? If none, roll call.
Trustees Williams,
Aye.
Hebda,
Aye.
Cook,
Aye.
Markwart,
Aye.
Schultz,
Aye.
Schwartz.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, any new business or communication to come before the board? Okay. Are we going to closed session tonight?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to closed session, but that'll be after committee of the whole, and when we go into closed session, we won't come out and discuss any
What are we
new
going in for again?
personnel, right?
Personnel.
Yeah, okay. All right, is there a motion to adjourn the village board meeting and go into committee of the whole?
So made.
Second.
Motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Trustees Hebda,
Aye.
Cook,
Aye.
Markwart,
Aye.
Schultz,
Aye.
Schwartz,
Aye.
Williams.
Aye.
Motion carries. I'd like to call the committee of the whole meeting to order First item of business, approve of committee of the whole minutes of the meeting of January 21st, 2014.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Okay, motion second, comments or questions, corrections, deletions? If none, roll call.
Trustees Hebda,
Aye.
Cook,
Aye.
Markwart,
Aye.
Schultz,
Aye.
Schwartz,
Aye.
Williams.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, next item is request for Girls on the Run to operate an outdoor special event at the VHAC. You state your name for the record, please?
Corinne Olson.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. President. I can give you just a brief summary. Girls on the Run, for those of you who are not familiar with this organization, is one that inspires girls to be healthy and confident, and which creatively integrates running into their program. And that is the motivation behind the 5K run. The event would take place on Sunday, June 1st from 8:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m., and it would be at the VHAC. Approximately 2,000 participants and attendees is anticipated. The run would be staged from the fields located west of the high school stadium. The race route continues north on Fairway, then east on Lakeview, then south on Milwaukee, and finally back west, ending at the stadium. The route does not cross any major streets, and attached to your packet is an aerial which shows the specific route. Additionally, American Hotel Register will be allowing use of their parking lot for the event. There'll be internal directional signs that will be used to assist participants to the parking and staging areas, and there will also be porta potties that will be located near the staging areas. The special event application, and again, the race route is attached to your packet. And if the board feels the special event is appropriate, then staff should be directed to prepare a resolution approving the 5K run, subject to the conditions outlined in your packet, and a representative is here to answer any questions that you may have.
Okay, now, is this a group that's Vernon Hills based, and Vernon Hills, participants are gonna be in?
Vernon Hills participants will be there. We're the Chicago Council, so we represent Cook, Lake, DuPage, Kendall, Kankakee, and Will counties. I'm forgetting one in there. We've previously only had one spring event. Our last spring event was for 13,000 participants. We're now splitting into a 3-series spring 5K. So
And where's the office at?
we're based in Chicago.
Is that where you're from in Chicago?
I live in Libertyville. I grew up in Vernon Hills, so I was familiar with the area. I went to Hawthorne, K through 8. So I'm familiar with the area. I know I'm comfortable here.
Yeah, okay.
As we move north, I did give Mike tonight a list of which schools in the area would be participating in the North 5K.
Yeah, I mean, is it all the high schools and?
It's actually for 3rd through 8th graders, so we're dealing with elementary and middle schoolers.
Yeah, okay. So it's all the ones that service Vernon Hills and then Libertyville?
Majority Lake County.
Oh, they're all over Lake County?
Yeah. Yeah, Zion, Round Lake, Buffalo Grove, Highland Park.
Mike wants to know if he can run.
You can run.
Is it, yeah.
It's open to the public, yes. So we'll have our girls, the girls go through a 12-week curriculum. They meet twice a week with 2 trained coaches, a group of 15. They're learning life skills, dealing with bullies, bettering the community, and then there's a running component tied into the curriculum where they're training to complete a 5K. Hopefully on June 1st, it would be their culminating 5K event. So along with all of the girls participating in the program, they'll have a running buddy running alongside them, cheering them on, and making sure that they arrive safely at the finish line while they're running. It's an adult.
Okay, is there any comments or questions for Trustee Schultz?
Yeah, the only thing that, I love it, God bless. The only thing that really scared me is you're talking about 2,000 people?
Yes.
Where are they all going to park, or how are we going to?
Hopefully CBRE and American Hotel Registry, the high school. Some of them will be arriving on a team bus.
Okay.
We-
More team buses, the better.
I would agree.
Okay. And you maybe want to include them.
We do work with a traffic management team that's familiar with city traffic and dealing with the challenges
Yeah.
along Montrose Harbor. So they're comfortable coming out and helping us work with all of that.
Jim, when you have Chicago, it's only 45,000 runners, and Boston is
This is not-
20
Well,
and now
yeah,
more, so.
but most
it's
of those
not-
folks, I mean,
You'll look at
do
race-
take the train or the L.
Right, but you look at
whatever.
races that are from 5 to 700 or so, this is a bigger race, but.
Right.
But it still should be able to.
But I'm thinking with all the little kids, they're gonna be bringing the moms and dads. Basically, every kid is gonna have a car.
It's 2,000 total, we're estimating, not 2,000 girls.
But is the road gonna be closed?
Oh, yeah.
No, a major roadway won't need to be
Lakeview
closed because it won't be.
Fairway
cro-
won't be closed.
It won't be closed and it won't be crossed as part of the race route.
What are you gonna do with all the bodies?
Where do you stage those 2,000?
You know what I mean?
On the fields.
On the field, okay.
I know, but when they're running,
You still have to,
Oh, well, they won't cross, yeah, I mean, yeah, I can
I mean-
imagine,
is there a mass start of some
It'll be a
sort?
corralled start, so we'll be starting around 500 participants every 5 minutes, which would be,
And that'll be internalized on the roads in and near the stadium?
that's correct. It'll be north on Fairway, then they turn down Lakeview. And they
On
pretty much
path.
work their way to Milwaukee Avenue, then come down south, then they come across CDW's property and back onto the VHAC.
But at no time they're on the street itself running.
That's
Correct.
correct.
Okay.
you're on
Well,
the side.
It's kind of tight. Anyway, that's okay. Because, you know, I mean, some of the paths in the business park are, you know, some are wide, but now you go to that sidewalk down Milwaukee, that's narrow.
Yes, it is, yeah.
They'll do,
Okay.
there's races, I mean, only because I've,
Are there
they have
prizes for those that finish?
everyone gets a medal.
Yeah,
It's
I
not a
mean, so-
race, it's a 5K, so it's,
Okay,
it's non-competitive, they're trying to finish.
okay.
Fox Valley
Yeah, okay.
runs a marathon, those are down paths that are similar or smaller than ours. So
Yeah,
those
which is,
are-
I
those
mean,
are
what, yeah,
2,000
but
runners.
do they stagger start or they just boom?
No, they'll end up doing, actually on those, it's,
Yeah.
it's
All
not a
right.
stagger start.
So you need a
You do a corral and a run.
motion to direct staff to prepare resolution approving the 5K run, subject to the conditions in the packet?
Sure. Motion and a second. Any further comments or questions? If not, roll call.
Trustees Cook,
Aye?
Markwart,
Aye.
Schultz,
Aye.
Schwartz,
Aye.
Williams,
Aye.
Hebda.
Aye.
Motion carries. And you're a paid employee of this organization?
I am a paid employee, yes.
Okay. All right,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Okay, what's next? Village Board consideration of an amendment to the liquor license ordinance exempting assisted living facilities from the BYOB prohibition.
Thank you, Mr. President. As the board is aware, in 2009, the board approved an amendment to the liquor code that prohibited BYOB. Since this time, we have received a request from the resident council of Hawthorne Lake Senior Living Facility requesting that we further amend the liquor code by exempting assisted living facilities from the BYOB prohibition. The council submits that their facility functions as a residence, not a restaurant. And as such, they are requesting that they be allowed to bring their own alcoholic beverage into the dining room with their meal. If the village board wishes to exempt assisted living facilities, then an amendment to the liquor code would in fact be required. And again, if this is the board's direction, then we have included draft language in your packet for review. It would be an amendment to section 3-26F of the liquor code. That's the section where we put the amendment in that prohibited BYOB. And the language would exempt assisted or senior living facilities holding a current Vernon Hills liquor license. And the amendment further states that the exemption would be allowed only for the residents of the facility for consumption in the dining room and shall not extend to visitors or guests. So that language has been placed in your packet for your review. And if the board agrees with the request from Hawthorne Lakes and determines that an amendment to the liquor code is appropriate, staff should be directed to prepare an ordinance amending the liquor code, exempting assisted living facilities from the BYOB prohibition. And the amendment would be in accordance with the draft text language and also in accordance with any other conditions deemed appropriate by the board tonight. And the representatives are here to answer any questions that you have.
Do you want to address medicinal marijuana tonight, too?
We will at a future time be ready to address that.
I'm
but-
sure we will be. Yeah, okay, so this would apply to all the senior housing in town.
Yeah,
Yeah, all right.
and the two places that hold a liquor license are Hawthorne Lakes and the park.
Yeah, all right. You guys got the floor.
Okay.
My name is John Stolz. I'm president of the council. And first, we'd like to thank you for
Mike is,
at least listening to our consideration.
is it not on?
Is it on?
To the side. Right up.
Okay.
There you go.
Anyhow, again, I'm John Stolz, president of the association. And we thank you for listening to our concern and hoping that we can get a favorable vote. One of the concerns with most of the people there is, why can't we bring our own bottle of wine to dinner? Nobody is selling the wine. We're not selling the wine. And our question has always come up against a brick wall, stating that, well, the law says that you have to have a liquor license. Well, I think we do have, I think the people, Bobby, you can help me out on this. I think the people who are mostly concerned with this do carry a liquor license for the village. And
Yeah.
so I don't have anything else to add to that other than, we'd like consideration for the people to be able to at least bring their own bottle of wine to dinner, if so choose. I don't think we have a house full of alcoholics. So I don't think that.
I can't throw stones. I live in a glass house, so.
I don't think that's going to be a major problem. But
No, okay.
older people like their glass of wine at night.
I have no issue with this at all. And this gentleman, do you have, you want to identify yourself, please?
Yes. My name is Bill Springer. I also happen to be on the council. I'm the ex-president and now vice president of the council. The thing I want to add is that, this is our home. It's not, it's not open to the public. It's true that Hawthorne Lakes has a liquor license, and they do serve wine, but their wines not of the finest quality, and and their varieties are very limited. They only serve a Merlot and a Chardonnay and a white Zinfandel. That's all they serve.
Not even a rosé?
And some of the people, when they have guests or something, and they want to have a nice bottle of wine on occasion, either for a special event, a birthday. At the Hawthorne Lakes, a birthday is always a special event.
Sure, yeah.
I agree.
I can't take no issue with that comment.
And really, that's about all I have to say. It's something that we as the residents look forward to as, something to help us along in our elderly years.
Yeah, sure, okay.
We don't have.
Do you have like
we don't
your
have
own?
Too many left.
Do you have like your own wine cooler refrigerator in your apartment?
In my apartment.
Where you live? I mean, you got your own little refrigerator with some good stuff in it. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Okay, well, Trustee Cook.
I don't have a problem with this. The one concern I had, a kind of a question, because you just brought up family members will be coming for events and that, like a birthday or something like that. And if I'm reading this right, this limits it to the resident only.
That's,
How is a family member then covered? Because
well, this is our home. When you have, I'm sure all of you will have private.
no,
homes.
I understand that. What I'm saying is that in my home, if I have a friend come, I can also let them have something to drink. And if I'm reading our language right, that would not be allowed under this.
Well, I think our.
And I would like to, I would like to see
That it is.
And
that
they're
it is.
guests.
Yes, what I'm saying is.
Residents
I
and
would
their
like you
guests
to
is
see
what
you
you're
have
saying.
exactly what I have at home, and that is if a friend comes over,
Yeah.
I can also let them have a beverage. Is there a way we can do that with
you
this?
gotta do is
Because,
change it to
isn't that, am I reading this wrong?
I think that's what we requested because that's what we thought we could get.
Yeah.
But we would absolutely prefer
I don't know
if they could serve
does
their
staff
guests.
see a
talking-
problem to expanding it? I mean.
You're talking more it does in your room, whatever you do.
It's
you
in our
do.
restaurant.
Yeah, in
It's
your-
in our
yeah,
restaurant. We have also
yeah.
a private dining room as
Right.
residents come in.
And
you
that's
know.
where the gatherings
But
take
but I can
place,
see
yeah.
family coming for a birthday party or something like that, and.
Yeah.
and-
I
yeah,
think
and
that would
they
be
want a glass of
wonderful.
wine also, and
if we could consider that.
how-
Go Bob, Bob.
Yeah, I absolutely concur with trustee Cook. Let's
Yeah.
make that happen.
We can do that.
Yeah.
No problem with, all we would do is, at the end of line 3, where it says allowed only for residents, we could add guests and visitors, and then at the end of the sentence, we would delete, and shall not extend to visitors or
Okay,
guests.
yeah, because, yeah,
Wonderful.
yeah, I'd
So
like.
if you did
I'd like
that
to
as
do that.
amended,
Yeah.
that
Better
would
than
work.
we hoped.
Motion,
Because motion to direct staff to write that ordinance.
second.
Yeah, because you're right, it would be, it's your home, and that would make it just
That
like.
would be
my
wonderful.
home.
That's
Yeah.
how it's been sort of limiting at this point, so.
Yeah.
All right, there's a motion. Is there a second?
Yes.
On the amendment.
On the amended verbiage
Yes.
as presented to the board tonight.
Okay, roll call.
Trustees Markwart,
Aye.
Schultz,
Aye.
Schwartz,
Aye.
Williams,
Aye.
Hebda.
Aye.
Cook.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Now,
Yeah.
in the past, I mean, okay, they have an existing liquor license now, the facility?
Yes, they do.
Facility.
So somebody can still buy a glass of wine?
Right, we can sell wine.
Oh, okay.
Because we have to sell it, that's.
Yeah. Well, that's why you need the
That's
license.
what, yeah,
Yeah,
we
I
don't
mean,
want to sell it other than, we don't even want to sell it, we just want them to be able to bring in, we'll continue to sell it if people don't want to bring their own.
yeah.
But they want their choice of bringing their finer.
And do you sell any, stronger,
We don't,
just wine and a
Just
beer?
wine.
You can get a.
Don't even
Oh,
sell
no,
it.
okay.
we do beer, okay, I don't even know, okay, yeah.
Okay.
We're a
Yeah,
whiskey gal.
yeah.
Plus, ladies and
Yeah.
gentlemen.
Yeah, we do beer.
So basically, you can't get a see-through. All right, okay. All right, with that said,
Did you ever taste, did you ever taste box wine?
Yeah, it's not good wine. It's-
no, yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, somebody's got a mother-in-law that likes it.
Yes, I did.
I
was
won't
in
name her
college
name.
And I didn't have any
You
money,
know,
so.
Yeah.
yeah. What's that, Franz or whatever that stuff
Franzia.
is? Was it? Franzia, yeah, that's sweet stuff. Okay, so you gonna do the roll call?
We already
did.
We did, we're doing, okay,
good.
fine.
Thank you so much.
All right,
Welcome.
Thank
Thank you all.
Get home safe.
Enjoy your wine.
thanks for coming out.
Invite me too.
You pull up close, I mean, it's kinda nasty out there.
Yeah.
Can we start immediately, or do we need further?
You can start within the next 5 minutes, I don't care.
You've made a lot of elderly
You have
people
no
very
idea, this has
happy.
been going on
Good,
for like
all right, well, that's the least we could do.
Thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank
Hey,
you.
a lot of us are getting to the same club.
Yeah, some of us. would
I
be
certainly
scared.
will.
All right, yeah, Jesus. Okay, next is, blah, blah, blah. Vernon Hills Golf Club, Kemper Sports Presentation and Proposed 2014 Operating Budget.
Your Honor, as a part of this tonight, you'll notice in the summary, during the budget, the staff will be talking about and discussing the Public Works Department's role in maintaining the facility to a similar level to what we do with other facilities. We're also going to be presenting some additional improvements to the property and building going forward and the like. So while some of these, the items that are listed in your packet aren't necessarily reflected in the current or the proposed budget, we'll be, Dave and his team will be working with OB and his folks to put together this list. So you look for that as we go forth into the budget.
I had it, but it disappeared again.
Okay. Want to state your name for the record, please?
Sure. Terry Hanley, Regional Operations Executive with Kemper Sports.
O.B. Sanders, Muni Pro.
Could you speak in complete sentences? Okay.
Said if you don't-
Who's got the floor here?
Well, if you don't mind, I was going to have the gentleman from Hawthorne come back and do our budget. They were very
There you go.
successful in something that I thought was
Yeah.
great.
You won't be so lucky.
Yeah, I didn't think so. No, I was going to start, if you don't mind. I was talking with our founder, Steve Lesnick, last week, and our CEO, Steve Skinner, and both of them wanted me to express their sincere gratitude. We are going to be entering our 35th year with a Progressive Village of Vernon Hills and our very first client in our company. And I will tell you, we talk about this at our annual Senior Leadership Conference. OB gets recognized an awful lot, but it means an awful lot to our company. And everybody across the country understands who's our first client in our company. And to enter our 35th year in 2014 is truly
You
a
cover
blessing.
that in every issue of the newsletter, or?
So we'll get in there.
Huh?
We'll get in there this year.
Okay.
And so, no, I just want to do a brief summary. I know you all, everybody received our budget, and hopefully you've had time to review it, but hot off the presses this morning from Larry, thank you very much, were the financials for December, and we actually overachieved our projection by another $3,500 to the bottom line, so this year we'll bring close to $49,000. And $49,000 to the bottom line, which is about $6,500 over prior year. And more importantly, I believe, if everybody can remember, and it's looking back on tonight and what's coming this weekend, we had an awful spring. You know, we opened in March, mid-March, like we normally do, and last 3 days, yeah. I mean, so we even couldn't get it through to mid-March, but in April, I believe we shut down or stopped golf 14 days. So it was, which truly affects the revenue line at the beginning, but through 13, through efficiencies with OB and his staff, they saved approximately $20,000 between payroll and expenses to budget, and were able to not only then overachieve our net income for the year with a reduced revenue line. So again, thank you for being so efficient and working hard at this. We're going into 14 with, again, a similar budget that is with the state reflecting the industry, and the state of golf today has been flat. We continue to try to grow the game through junior play, couples play, getting more people involved, and I think this past year we had over 30 children participate in the junior golf project. But with that said, we're looking at bringing in about $490,000 in total revenue this year. We've, again, OB and Gene have been successful growing food and beverage revenues at the club through different events and getting outside the box, not just worried about golf and what the golfer spends in the shop and at the counter, but also just getting creative with different events coming in. And then payroll is slightly reflects, again, just the growth in revenue in food and beverage, and anticipating hopefully a healthy spring. And our operating expenses are coming in flat this year to what we spent this year in 13, and we should bring in about $47,000 projected for 2014 as a net income line. And with additional efficiencies, if we can do more without compromising service, we hope to overachieve that as well. And I don't know, highlights this year, if you want to just talk about anything else that came in with the growth of children and any of the activities that you had?
No, not really.
Okay.
You hit it pretty good.
And one last thing that we're adding this year, and with the help of village staff, we really do appreciate your help with the Easy Links contract. It's a relationship we created, Kemper Sports created with Easy Links 2 years ago, and we test marketed the first year in a couple pilot clubs, and it's done a lot of different positive impact at each one of these courses that have implemented Easy Links partnership. It's an online tee time program that will feature Vernon Hills Golf Course for those golfers that usually don't come out to Vernon Hills, so we'll have additional exposure. It helps collect data from the people that inquire, and also we'll grow our email database and be able to communicate throughout the year to additional golfers outside of the village and outside of the local residents that play. And then more importantly, it provides a customer service element that a lot of our courses don't have once we shut the lights off and go home for the night. We'll have a 24-hour call center that will answer the phone. Good evening, Vernon Hills Golf Club, how may I help you? And if they're looking for a staff member, if they call for OB or they call for Gene or any of the staff, they'll be able to transfer right back to their extension. So to the caller, it will be very seamless as if they're calling the golf course and talking to a staff member. But more importantly, they'll be able to get a tee time exactly when that person wants to make the tee time. And it's amazing how many people are making tee times at 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning when they can't sleep, or they've come home late from work, that they think about all the personal things they haven't done. And this allows that to capture and grow our revenue and our round base. So, and that again reflects it in our rounds. Last year, or this year in 13, we did close to, we had about 18,900 rounds, and going into 14, we're projecting to do about 19,700 rounds. Again, with the help of Easy Links. And I appreciate all the hard work that Bob and his team did with the Easy Links contract to get that done. But that's a new amenity this year, and I think our residents and I believe our customers will truly appreciate the ease and the access to booking a tee time and getting it done. It also allows us, one last thing, it allows us to do, if we choose, to go on a day, if it rains in the morning and all of a sudden the clouds break, we can go in and motivate people by changing the pricing. And it's real-time pricing that OB can go in and quickly do, and then it's emailed or blasted out to a lot of people in that database in Easy Links to let them know a special just came online. And the golfer today is looking, the daily fee player is looking online more and more. They no longer call a golf course. They go right to Golf Now or Easy Links or wherever it is and try to find the best deal. And we control that. If we elect to lower the rates, we can. And again, I think we only do that on days of weather where we believe we might have lost the day, but at 2 o'clock it turns out to be a nice afternoon. This allows us an opportunity to generate additional fees and guests to the course. So we're excited about it, and we truly believe it's going to make a positive impact at Vernon Hills this year. And I'll open it up with OB and I to answer any questions as far as the budget or 2013's results.
Well, who on staff has worked closely with you on this one? Dave?
I certainly have had discussions with OB more on the capital part of the budget. I think other members of staff have assisted on the other parts.
So who from staff has interacted in this budget?
Well, as Dave said, he's talked with OB about the improvements. I generally looked over the budget very quickly as it was brought in. Bob's worked on the EasyGo or the EasyLink contract, so it's kind of like been multiple pieces. I think Larry's probably looked at the budget also.
I think this is basically the operating budget is in line with past trends, and I think they develop it looking at history and looking at the past trends, and I think that's as reasonable approach as you can come up with for developing a budget like this. There's a lot of unknowns going into the season, and they try and
I guess to answer that question, Mayor, as well, Mike Allison was also, and John, congratulations, I'm sorry, I know we talked earlier, but with that said, when we sit down internally and go through this budget, not only do we meet internally with OB and his team and talk through it, but we also measure our courses on the West Coast, because there's been a trend over the last 5 years, no matter how bad we anticipate things might be, especially courses on the East Coast or Midwest, we look at the trends on the West Coast at our courses, and if they're in prime season in December, January, and if they start this year off ahead of plan or above, much more exceeding what they believe, that does trickle down the road back to the Midwest and East Coast. And right now, they're happy with what they see on the West Coast. It's not as great as maybe 2 years ago was, but we're positive. It's a positive trend, knowing that what we forecasted, we truly believe it's happening right now. And that's where we internally, that's how we look at it, and then look at each course individually as we get down to the budget process.
Okay.
Yeah. And maybe to add to that, included in some of the important improvements, one of the things that we feel is important is the outside of the building, to make sure that It is aging, and we want to give it a fresh look on the outside. So there's $17,000 included in this budget to paint the outside of the building, to paint the outside of the maintenance building, and the new fence enclosure that was installed. So you will find that in the budget. OB and I have talked in terms of some other things. The maintenance barn, previous years, Public Works has added some shingles, et cetera. We think that we have to look into a re-roofing, but that doesn't have to happen this year. As part of the outside patio area, there's been discussions as part of the patio that there's some leaks in the awning, so we're keeping that, we're observing that and keeping that in mind. There's some fencing along the Hawthorne Club subdivision, and there's some replacements that are needed there. We didn't think it was necessary this year, but we have received some fence proposals, so we're looking at maybe there's another $30,000 of fencing needs out there. The boulder wall, we've talked about the boulders and stacking the boulders on the outside, whether or not we build a retaining wall and address it in other ways. So there's certainly things that we have on lists. We'll keep the board informed, ask for your input, try to have numbers as best as one can, and try to prioritize those with the board.
Okay, Trustee Schwartz.
Well, we definitely could not have lowered our expenses in 2013 and then budgeted them to be flat in 2014 without Dave Brown and his very talented staff. So we very much appreciate all your hard work.
Thank you. We really appreciate one of the decisions the board helped us with. We were able to we were allowed to eliminate our private contractor for HVAC. We brought someone in-house with those talents. He's been able to address one of the concerns that was brought up by the board previously, the refrigerators within the facility. It is our building, so he's been able to work on both the refrigerators, the freezer, and try to address some of those concerns. So I'll pass that on to Tony. Thank you.
Yeah, he can pretty much fix anything so far. And we try not to call with any emergencies, to let him have time so it doesn't involve with their other duties. But this has been a process that, since you took over, has really started to go the way it should to take care of the building down there.
Thank you.
Can this our own HVAC guy? I mean, can he comment? On the adequacy of the actual system itself, so that when we really get the hot weather, is there something, is it the right size for that building?
He has those talents. He can do that. Yes.
I would like to see that done. And the other thing is, I don't know, would we? I mean, is it almost like at the one door? Do we need like a, like kind of the same kind of vapor lock, or, the one goes out to the patio, and it might not be practical, but, it's kind of like, we got it on the front door, two front doors.
It's running probably now as good as it's ever run, but if it's 95, and that door gets open 200 times a day, it's just a limit. I don't even know putting a bigger unit, but Tony would be able to know that because he's been doing this for 30 years now.
Well, I'm just thinking too, if you have a party, you know what I mean? The regulars kind of understand the process, but, but if you got a lot of people there, for like, so an anniversary or birthday or whatever the hell it is, I'm just wondering, is there a better door system even? Maybe we should put a revolving door.
We can
That'd
find
be
out.
kind of funny. But I'm just saying, even if we just put up a little thing, like they do in the wintertime, made out of canvas. I don't know what that'd help.
It's a good point, because you still will get a 50-person party in there, and they will say,
people moving.
can you turn it up a little? And I'm like, it's running full blast.
Right. Yeah. Okay, and then the one thing that, I don't know how practical this is. I mean, we've talked about it periodically, not necessarily but, you know, some kind of a heater that's, you know, more to radiant heat down. I mean, something.
On the patio?
Yeah, something of more size. Now, you know, is that gonna affect the canvas and, you know, its ability to hold the rain out, you know? But, you know, is there,
Well, in the awnings,
again-
in the awnings defense now, it takes a pretty hard rain to feel anything underneath. It hasn't gone to
Right.
put the pots down to stop the leak.
Yeah,
It's
and I mean-
hanging in, and probably if we did a radiant, it would probably go under that old little piece of roof that covered up the outside window before.
somebody would look at it, right?
But I
mean,
don't know.
Is that something our HVAC guy could look at too? Cause I mean, you know, are they a couple of grand? You know, I mean, something, I don't know how long you would have to even put it. I mean, we got an open, obviously air blowing in, but I mean, it could be, I would think it would be more adequate, you know? I mean, they do it at train stations, you know?
No, I agree, and I
Kinda like
would-
a train station.
We'll also, you know, Mike Atkinson's very talented. We'll talk to him in terms of the awning, fire code safety and those type of things. So, yeah, we'll look into that.
But as the aging of the awning, and if that is something that moves up quickly this summer or even next year, when we look at that, that's an opportune time to look at these heating systems because they are very progressive. And as, you know, your staff would know, they're extremely progressive right now. And they're built into awning systems, you know, into the rail system of an awning and unobtrusive.
Sure.
And much less to
Well, you
install
must have
than-
them at some golf.
Yeah, we
places,
do.
yeah.
We look at Bandon Dunes. You can look at Desert Willow out in Palm Desert. Even Stream Song down in Florida just opened, and I'm certain they have a beautiful veranda. And I'm certain down there they have it. But to retrofit it today into that, I think it would get costly, knowing if we all knew that this awning was going to be replaced in the next year, 2, 3. If it goes out that far, we should probably look at some
What
temporary
have we hit,
deal.
5 years?
Awning's probably 10 years now.
I was gonna say, it's
It's
been
at
a
least
long
8 to
time.
10.
Is it?
At least, time flies.
Yep.
It's at least 8 to 10 now.
All right. What was it, 15 years? It was pretty much shot?
Well, we didn't have, was it guaranteed for 15?
Yeah.
Or have to look that way back, and I don't know. I think they guaranteed for 10 or more, but I don't want to speak out of turn. I'm not sure.
Okay. All right, has anybody got any, trustee Hebda?
I'm sure in your marketing strategies, Obi will get me out there to hit some golf balls, right, Obi? Yeah, I don't know. He's waiting.
That'll be the first.
That'll be the
proof
first.
that it's actually working if you come play golf.
I do have a question though about the trees. I'm looking at, do you have the borash out there? Are you going to be impacted by that?
Public Works replaced 6 or 7 last
Okay.
year, and we're sure it's just gonna keep hitting
Keep
as
going.
it goes.
So
But we
you're-
replaced 6 or 7 of them last year.
You've got about a $2,000
Right.
earmark there. You're going to be okay with that? Because trees are nice out
Yes.
there too.
We also leveraged the Lake County Public Works improvement that they had to remove a couple of trees, so they donated trees. So we've worked through replanting those just recently.
Good. And actually, the fence that was replaced along by the Hawthorne Club Park, that really looks nice. It really does, and it's always been well maintained by you guys. So hope you'll see me out there this summer.
Now we're calling your bluff. You have to.
I know.
You have to now.
Yeah, you went on public record now.
I'm in
Friday
trouble
night.
now.
Put
Friday
that in
night.
the minutes, too.
Oh.
Put that in the minutes, and trustee
Friday night,
Hebda,
trustee Hebda, Friday night golf.
There you go.
She
Yeah,
can
I
play
know
with
Jeannie's
Schultz or
talking
Cook
about
too.
it too.
I'll even watch.
But no,
Believe me,
I'm just like the
that's-
trees. So
Cindy, I'll put you on my team. We'll have fun.
okay, sounds like a
There
plan.
you go.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you though. But yeah, I know with the trees, I was worried about what impact that'll be there too. So yeah, because we're gonna lose.
all right.
Lots of trees.
So what's the total budget number being plugged in here?
The net operating income for 14?
Or what are we budgeting though for capital improvements then?
48.
48,000?
Mr. Nakron has instructed us for as long as I can remember that if you're gonna make 100, he'll let us spend 100. If you're only gonna say you're making 48, you better only put in 48. That's why some of this with Public Works, some of these bigger projects, the actual little tiny golf course capital budget won't hold the big ones. So some of the outside stuff, and we don't mind if
Yeah, well, you know,
if you say
yeah.
put the 40,000 extra for something in our, that's fine.
You know, in
It's okay
reality,
with
we
us.
probably should just put this under the public works budget, all the capital improvement stuff, because we're
It
paying
should
for
be.
it anyway.
Yeah, it shouldn't be in here.
You
You're
know.
paying for it. In the contract, it says, I think Kemper's responsible for the pro shop. So, you know, if you want to leave
Right.
carpet and inside furniture and small stuff on the golf course, some of the equipment.
Yeah, well, I mean,
whatnot.
yeah.
But yeah, the big stuff, it just doesn't fit if you want to keep
Right.
going even up with the budget now. Just
All right, well, so,
It should be in our budget, or
What
the
do-
board budget.
Trustee Schultz.
In my ongoing effort to make sure that the chief always has a speaking part, the third hole gets torn up every year by skunks. And did we keep any of the traps, or do we have an ongoing? Because I know the Hawthorne Club always has skunks, as does a number of other areas. But this is public property that really gets torn up by the skunks looking for grubs.
We can, our agreement with the trapper ended just before Thanksgiving, before the weather got cold. We can certainly bring him back out. Now, springtime doesn't generally bring the same type of activity from the skunks. It's usually later in the summer towards fall. And I would anticipate, based on a response this past year, we'll be bringing the gentleman back.
Okay, so as long as you're thinking about it and putting something in your budget to accommodate that, that would be appreciated throughout
sir.
the entire village, but also to try and protect this investment we have in
what was sad though, I think he only trapped one on the golf course.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think that
Hey,
was it. He only
we
got
could use
one.
it right now. There's a, you know, like a flack of them underneath the tree by the air conditioner.
That's on
You
our
know,
public
Or
works.
you go there now and you'd smell it.
Right.
Oh, yeah. 2
Gene-
weeks ago,
Gene
I
knows.
said to Obie, we walked outside and I went,
Gene knows
there's a
that.
skunk out here.
We think we figured out where they live.
Yep.
But yeah, Gene knows.
It's
That's
unbelievable, Chief.
Motion to approve.
I'll have to witness
budget
it.
as
Maybe after I
presented.
play a round of golf.
All right, there's a motion and a second to approve. All right. And the dollar amount's 48,000? No.
47.
47.
Even?
And $84.
$47,084. Okay. We got a motion and a second. Roll call?
Trustee Schultz,
Aye.
Schwartz,
Abstain.
Williams. Aye. Hebda.
Aye.
Cook.
Aye.
Markport.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you again. Appreciate
Okay.
everybody's time.
All right, one last comment. We have to say it's a sad day.
Oh, yeah.
Trustee Cook's 35-month streak of playing golf every month at the Muni went away in January.
Really?
Weather finally got him.
And it looks to go away in February at the way we're starting, so.
It's a rough,
The
rough
last,
year.
the last month I didn't play 9 holes at this course was the February, 34 months ago, the February when we had 800 feet of snow.
Right.
And I've played every month since then, and this January, was Friday night, it was like
It's over.
over, streak's over.
All right, well, you can start doing it.
There you go. Start it
All right,
again.
is there a motion to adjourn committee of the whole and go into closed session to discuss personnel? And only personnel.
So
Made.
All right,
Second.
motion is second, roll call.
Trustee Schwartz,
Aye.
Williams.
Aye.
Hebda. Aye. Cook.
Aye.
Markport.
Aye.
Schultz.
Aye.
Yeah, what's going on?
Motion carries, thank you and good night.
Quickly.